Hi everyone, welcome back to The Learning Gardener. I thought I would give you guys a little update video on how everything is going because it has been a few weeks since I filmed. Mind you, I haven't actually edited the previous ones yet because we have been working so hard. My parents have come down for the last couple of weekends to help. They are not here this weekend, which is part of the reason why I'm filming now, because I feel a bit awkward filming in front of them, but also because I feel really awkward filming in front of the builders, and we have had builders and every type of tradie possible here during the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks, however long it has been since I last filmed, and it has been super noisy, which is part of the other reason why I haven't filmed. But the roof restoration is complete, so I will show you some before and afters. But you might have noticed there's a bit more of an echo, and that is because the builders came, and they came a little bit earlier than I was anticipating. And they ripped out the flooring, they started making the new bedroom. So where I am now is the lounge room, and this area behind me was just like some random little office setup, except it's like right in the middle of the house, so it's a really stupid place to have it. And in terms of the overall floor plan, because you can tell the difference in here because there's a bit of insulation exposed. So this was where the purple kitchen was. The purple kitchen is now gone. And if you remember, what we were doing was taking out one of the bedrooms, and it is now gone. And that is where the kitchen is going to be. So when I'm washing things in the sink, I'm going to be looking out that window. So as you can see, it's opened the place up a huge amount. I'm so glad we did this, because before there was just this weird little side corner which was on the plan called the rumpus room. But if you had a dining table that had more than 4 people, it would just cut off access to that rumpus room. So it was a stupid design. But so then they have started framing up for where the sliding door frames are going to be to go into the pantry / 4th bedroom. So I'm going to be using it as a pantry, but it could be very easily turned back into a 4th bedroom. But so I've got to get painting soon because they've popped off all the skirting so I can get done. Now this is a story. So they took out one of the fans, and apparently the only thing fixing the gyprock on the roof to the ceiling was the fan, and so that ceiling just kind of caved in, which was, you know, great. So we've got to go around and check all the others, but they're nice and secure. So let's go outside and show you everything that's been happening outside. So the deck has come up. My dad worked for like 2 straight days to get the deck 5 centimeters away from the house, because of the way the deck has been built. It basically facilitates termites to walk straight in. So things had to be done. But to move the kitchen, the plumbers have had to do some trench work through there. But I mean, the way this deck has been built is just a disaster zone. But you can see the little gap here that took my dad a very, very long time to wiggle this deck back 5 centimeters. So I'll show you what I was working on yesterday, which is a whole bunch of seedlings. Now, you guys might be able to see that my fence and my neighbor's house are pretty close. So it's not that uncommon that we have chats over the fence, but I have also seen them just looking over the fence. So one of the things I did yesterday was plant up a whole bunch of giant Russian sunflowers, which grow to about 3 meters. And hopefully they will provide some fence line visual block faster than probably the pittosporum, which I have bought for the fence line. Well, at the moment I only have 3, and at the moment where they're going to go, because we're still technically in winter for another better part of 3.5 weeks, there's not enough sunlight there on the side for them yet, but there will be, especially once they grow up a bit. And apparently the pittosporums can grow about 1 meter per season, which will be fantastic. But I have ordered a whole bunch of smaller ones because I couldn't afford to buy a bunch of bigger ones. But so yesterday I did a whole bunch of seedling work. So a couple more veg, a bit more greens, although the beds, until the seedlings come up, I'm kind of stuck. I can't remember where I planted the carrots because I did them in a hurry. But I've got a whole bunch of flowers and things like that that are working. And on the other side, I have things that hadn't yet finished things that hadn't yet matured enough for me to take them out of the seedling trays from last time I did the seedlings. So we're back up onto the deck because it suddenly got a little bit windy, and it's kind of one of those things, like as soon as you start filming the wind picks up. Anyway, so hopefully it's not too irritating, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do, and today is the only day we've got to film. So next I'm going to show you what I have been working on week after week. It is moving soil and filling some beautiful garden beds. And I'm going to show you my favorite thing that I have worked on. I have set up this urn that I got from my parents' house that they were just going to chuck out, and one of the 4 arches. So there's going to be like a tunnel of arches going back, and I'm just hoping that it won't cast too much shade onto the veggie bed. The first and the last of the arches is going to be a Nehema climbing rose, which is kind of a beautiful light pink with a slight apricot hint that has minimal thorns, so hopefully I shouldn't get too snagged as I walk through here. And then the second and third one, so the middle 2 archways, they're going to have sweet peas climbing on them. So we've got an alley of flowers here, and eventually there'll be an alley there. Let's have a look. So we're starting off with a nice blue salvia on the corner of the archway. We've got the rose, which is only on one side, and then this is a lavish rose double lavender, and we have the lavish blue and then another lavish rose. In between I've got, or where I will have when enough seeds come up, some bunny tails. So you can see little tiny seedlings. We didn't have quite enough to get the whole thing planted up. And then in between there is rosemary. So part of the theory of having such fragrant plants along this line, yes, is to get bees, but it's also to try and help with some tick prevention. Sorry about the mess, I've still got a lot of cleaning up to do, but we've got again another blue Spires salvia and a white Aquilegia granny's bonnet flower here, and then we're alternating colours of ornamental kale and these beautiful pansies. I got the first of the tomatoes going, so I just happened to see these at the nursery and decided to pick them up, even though I only just started my tomato seedlings yesterday. And these are beefsteak tomatoes, and hopefully they'll be very happy here in their new home. In here there are carrot seedlings, and I've no idea how many, or I don't remember where I planted them is probably more accurate. And so I actually started to give up on the carrot seedlings because they were taking so long, and I've planted some cabbage and broccoli and dill along the side. And then wouldn't you know it, the day after I planted the tomatoes, up came a little carrot seedling. Organising the wood is a slow and steady wins the race situation. My best friend and I managed to wrestle this crate that my dad had brought down for me down to the back yesterday, and so as you can see I have started stacking the logs in there, but there's a fair bit more, and this is kind of one of those situations where I wish I knew how to chainsaw, but yeah, I don't have any idea how to chainsaw, and it's actually been recommended to me that if you don't know how to do it, don't learn, because it's such a high risk of injury. So I'm going to take that and run with it, and hopefully next week when my dad comes down he might get a bit more done. But you can see these are massive, absolutely massive, and they're quite a bit of work to actually cut up. So much for the tree guys cutting it up into fire-sized logs. Oh well, we'll get there. There is still a little bit of the soil out the front, but I actually need to construct one of the other garden beds here, and well, actually I need to construct a couple, but I don't have enough soil for a couple. But as you can see, we have a slight wood problem, but this is where I'm going to have like pumpkins, and we're going to try some corn, even though out the back apparently we have some fairly giant bush rats, which should be fun. But I want to put like my zooks and my pumpkins, and I want to put my berries over here because there is a paved area, but it's very unlevel, so I'm going to have to work out what to do about that. but I thought that might be a great way to stop my raspberries and blackberries becoming invasive. It does amaze me that there are already things like these little spinach plants that are technically harvestable at this point. Like, they've just grown so quickly, and I was really worried that in winter they wouldn't get enough sunshine, but it's actually warmed up a really significant amount in the last week and a half, so hopefully soon what you'll see is lots of lush beds full of veggies and a much more organized wood pile. And hopefully this week this whole fence line is getting painted to match the blue side. So fingers crossed. So you can already see the massive difference in between where he has cleaned on one side. I mean, where he hasn't cleaned, sorry, he hasn't cleaned this whole side. And where he has cleaned on the back. It's just a massive difference. But it will make a huge difference to have the fence just the same color the whole way around. Be much less of a visual eyesore. So one of the things I really want to get done this week is I want to get the fruit trees and the roses in the ground before they break dormancy. But as you can see, there's already a tiny bud that looks like it's starting to open on the peach tree, and the roses have started to emerge. So I really have to get them in the ground today, and I'm probably not going to film that just because it takes so long to set up the camera. And I know that today was just really a quick whirl around, but I got a lot of work to do, and it really has to all get done today. And I've got to also dig trenches for the plumber. It's already 11 o'clock, so, or actually no, it's only 10, but whatever, it feels like 11 o'clock. Anyway, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick update video. I hope that you can see some small amounts of change and some giant piles of insulation. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And I know that at this point I still haven't uploaded even the first video. I promise I will really try to get my stuff together. It is just that I have been so tired at the end of every day that I've been going to bed at like 8 o'clock, which for me is unheard of. And it means that I am currently living in a Lord of the Flies type situation at our other house because nothing is getting done. So, oh well, off to try and achieve some things, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day doing whatever you guys are doing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I was just moving these bricks and I was just about to pick up this one and I noticed a black snake. I'm pretty sure it's a red-bellied black snake or either a brown snake, a baby one. Either way, it is not ideal. They are extremely poisonous. So I don't think I'll be trenching out the full line for the plumbers today or making the full garden bed shape because Snakey needs to move along. The rescue people said to hose the shit out of it, was their words. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until Dad is here and then we can use some sort of instrument to move the cinder block and hose the snake at the same time. But at least in theory there should only be one because they're territorial, and the rescue people said it sounds like it's about 6 weeks old, which is a bit gross. Please vacate. Oh, it's not there. Where did you go, snake? Go away, snake. I set the sugarcane mulch up as like protection for my shins, and then I flipped the cinder block and it was gone. So I've hosed the whole area and hopefully it's gone next door, as horrible as that is to say, because there's no one there. It's an Airbnb. So hopefully it'll go there and then vacate back out to the bush. but I think I'm gonna go for an early lunch and give that snake time to think about what it's done.